I love real estate, and I've been investing in real estate now for almost 27 years of my life. But what a lot of people don't know about my real estate adventure is the fact that I started buying properties while I was a stockbroker, and I was doing very well. I was a young single guy, and I was making money, and I started investing in buying properties. And by 2000, not only did the tech bubble burst and stocks weren't trading well, they also came out with sites like E-Trade and Ameritrade, and all of a sudden, the commissions were shrunk down. That I was paying property managers more than I was making myself. So I decided at around 27, 28 years old, whatever I was then, I was going to become retired and manage my properties. So what I did is I would live off the cash flow. And a lot of people in real estate are going to advise you, live off the cash flow. And I'm going to tell you, don't. And here's why. What I did is I started modeling my lifestyle and my expenses based on how much money I made in real estate. So if I was bringing in $10,000 a month, I could spend $10,000 because it's never going to stop. But it stopped. It stopped in 2009, 2010 when the market crashed and all of the properties' values came down and all of the rents came down. Now, thankfully, I always carry low debt, so none of my properties were in danger, but I was because I was living off this money. And it was a lot more than $10,000 a month I was on the hook for because by then I had the fancy house, I had 3 cars, I had the boat, I had the lifestyle, and I had no job. And I was living off that real estate money. But when rents went from $5,000 to $3,000 or $3,000 to $2,000, I could pay the mortgage, I could pay the taxes, I couldn't pay my own personal bills. So I annihilated my savings over the course of a couple of years. But that's what got me so motivated into third-party management. And that was the pivoting moment when I said, I will never spend my real estate money ever again on recurring expenses. And that is how I learned about compounding money. Because when the real estate money comes in, I reinvest it into more real estate. I reinvest it into improving my properties. I reinvest it into my tenants. And that allows me to get higher and higher rents. I'm not necessarily trying to pay the properties off faster. I'm trying to grow the portfolio faster. And I'm growing it very carefully. I'm not just growing it for the sake of growing. I'm using all that money to grow the real estate portfolio instead of my lifestyle. And let me tell you, you won't believe the effect that compounding will have on your real estate portfolio if you don't spend the money. So I know you're going to be tempted to use all that real estate money in the beginning, but don't. If you need to use the real estate money in the beginning, you need to be very careful and cautious because there will always come a time when there'll be a setback and you don't want to be in the place I was. But for me, I'm glad it happened because it changed my whole business plan around. But for you, learn from my advice and just keep reinvesting the profits.